Hi everyone. So my name's Callie. I'm from ShortList. We've got Dayvisson with me today. So Dayvisson is a BizApps seller for Microsoft. So he's going to be talking to us a little bit about a day in the life in his job role. So Dayvisson, without any further ado, let's get to know you a little bit. So
Yes.
could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, just to let everyone know who you are, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, just so right off the bat, you're gonna see a little accent on the way I speak. I am originally from Brazil. Yes, Brazil. I moved to United States about well almost 20 years ago. So grew up in Brazil, moved here to learn English, went to college, got my bachelor's degree, master's degree, and all that. And then have been involved with technology for about 7 years now. Worked 5 years for IBM, now 2 years for Microsoft. I do live in Dallas, Texas. It's a beautiful day outside. It's sunny and gorgeous. It's not always like that. It's sometimes it's really hot here in Texas, but I'm actually in the office. I am currently on paternity leave. I came to the office today for the second time during my almost 2 months paternity leave. And yeah, so I'm here in the office now, Microsoft office here in Dallas, and I'm really grateful to be here and speak a little bit more about my role. Like I said, I was going to show you that Microsoft sent some cute cute souvenirs for my son. I'm my dad of four, so this is number four boy, and I'm super excited. One of the benefits of working for Microsoft is that you work really hard, but they also have really good perks and good benefits. And I'm grateful that Microsoft is allowing me to spend some time with my family, with my newborn.
Great.
Yeah,
So, could you tell us a little bit about your career background and how you got to where you are today?
yeah. So it's funny because a lot of people ask me, how did you get into tech or how did you get to Microsoft? A lot of times in sales in general, I think that's my opinion. A lot of people just kind of fall into sales. They don't really plan their entire life to go into sales these days. They have a lot of, some colleges actually have sales, degrees where you can graduate and actually go to sell. But how I got into tech right after my bachelor's degree when I graduated from Brigham Young University, Idaho, I I just got a job. I just got actually a job in customer service for about a year. Because I'm from Brazil, so I was speaking Portuguese. I actually speak Spanish as well. So there's Portuguese, Spanish, English. I was doing customer service sales for about a year, and then I transitioned to be a retail manager for one of our. It's a company here in US called Walgreens. I was the store manager for 4 years. During that time, I worked a lot with people and, got to manage between 15 to 20 people every day. So I kind of expanded my leadership experience in communication, human resources, and all that cool stuff. And then from there, I went to get my MBA. I got my MBA from Thunderbird, which is a not really well known university here in the United States. Is more known outside of US because it's more like a global international MBA. So there's more people outside of US that know Thunderbird than inside of the United States, which is kind of funny. But it's one of the best international business schools. I always wanted to do international business because of my background, international background. So I went to go my MBA. After my MBA, then I tried to open my own business actually, which is funny. I tried to do I was part of an incubator. I had a partner and everything, and that didn't work really well. Really, it got sour really fast. Um, so then I decided to open my own financial practice. I moved to Texas and I worked for 2 years for a company called New York Life, which is one of the big firms here for insurance. I did that for 2 years, sales, right, 100% commission. Did fairly good for about 2 years. I was one of the top performers, but at the same time, some months I would make a lot of money, other months I would make nothing. And then I was like, okay, this is bringing a lot of stress to my family. I should probably find a job in corporate job. And then I always wanted to do tech. In my back of my mind, I always wanted to do tech. And then I started researching, and that's when I came across with IBM and applied, got an offer, started working for IBM, and I did that for 5 years. It was drinking from fire hose, like we say here. It was extremely hard because I was learning the technology. I was learning in English, in Portuguese, in Spanish because I was selling the three languages, and it was. I had a blast. I got introduced to tech, and during that time, I was at an eye at Microsoft. I Microsoft was always for me was always the best product. I always heard about really good benefits and all that good stuff. And so I started working like crazy, getting to know people, started applying. It took me almost 2 years. Actually, I started looking for a job at Microsoft, and then COVID came, and I had to stop. And then after 2 years of COVID, I started applying again, and that's when I got my role here at Microsoft. It has been an amazing 2 years. I landed on a team called TSI, which is Tech for Social Impact.
Mhm.
So basically, I work on a daily basis with nonprofit organizations. So I sell business applications, BizApps, and Power Platform to nonprofit organizations. And I think we're going to talk a little bit more about nonprofits and
Yeah.
what we do, what I do with nonprofits. But that's kind of how I got into Microsoft. It was a really, I wasn't really, dreaming or planning my entire life to work for Microsoft.
Mhm.
But then when I was at IBM, when I got introduced to technology, I really wanted to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity I had to come and work here.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's amazing. So, next, could you please tell us what it's like working for such a massive corporation such as Microsoft?
Right? I know some people. Well, like you said, it's a massive. It's big, right? It's on the news all the time, right? So there is a lot of visibility. Microsoft is really leading this AI revolution all over the world when it comes to uh, software and technology. So it's there's a lot of I would say work. We're very busy. Let's just say that we're
Yeah.
very busy. There's no downtime. Of course, in sales, we work by quarters, right? So every quarter is important. I don't know. Maybe other organizations, maybe the last quarter is the best. Is the one that you put more effort, and then maybe the first quarter is the one that you kind of slow down, and then you play. Now here's that was very demanding.
Yeah.
But the one of the coolest things of working here at Microsoft is the people. They're all amazing. Everybody's super smart. I feel honestly every time I go to a room, I feel like I'm the dumbest in the room every single time. Which is, I heard this could be a good thing because if you're in a room that you're kind of the least, that means that you have a lot to grow, and for me, that's important.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I work in technology is that there's always room for growth. And working for Microsoft, I feel like, let me find an analogy here so we can, it's almost like, there's like a yacht, a big boat passing by, and then it's going fast, and you have like a little, let's say, a jet ski.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say swimming because that wouldn't be fair, but you have a jet ski that you always trying to catch up. You always trying to do all you can, but there's always more things to learn. There's always more things to improve. There's always more productivity. So you're always being challenged, always being uh, what can I say? You're always growing, which that's one of the number one things that Microsoft's looking for is what they call the growth mindset, right?
Yeah.
Is the ability to be comfortable, be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
basically. As I was learning, I was doing something extra. For example, I have been out for about a month and a half, and I can see in my inbox, it's ridiculous. There's a lot of emails and meetings and things that I missed and clients that I have to catch up. But one of the things that's probably that I miss the most is the training. Like in a month and a half, so many things have changed,
Yeah.
like on the technology and names and things that I have to catch up as a seller. That it can be scary for some people, but for me, it's super exciting because I'm gonna get, once I get back, I get to learn all this new stuff. Which that's one of the reasons why I work in tech. I can always be learning something new.
Wow. So next, obviously, this is called a day in the life. Could you talk us through what a typical day in the life in your role is?
Yeah, so I actually came to the office today because just to have the office feeling. I come to the office usually 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I help at home with my kids, my family, and then I come to the office. I come here twice a week, 3 times a week, 2 days a week. I work from home. I have my office at home. Typical day. You open your laptop. There's tons of emails. So the first thing you need to do, you need to prioritize, right, your time because you already have your calendar, which is technically full. There is meetings back to back. Always there's always meetings, but you have to find time. If something gets canceled, then you have to okay, what am I gonna squeeze? If this meeting here, 30 minutes gets canceled, what am I gonna do? Right. So you have to prioritize. Um, we work daily with clients. We work daily with internally with Microsoft employees. We work daily with partners, which a lot of people don't think about it, but most of the work that we do, we sell the technology. We sell all the greatness and all the good stuff. But the partners are our biggest friends. They are the one. The Microsoft partners are the one who are boots on the ground. They are the one doing all the implementation. They are the one, making our customers happy, making you know their dreams, let's say, quote unquote, happen. And so we want to make sure we have that strong relationship with partners. So most of my time during the day is also spent talking to partners, following up on projects, make sure we know what's next, what can we do, and what needs to be done. So there's a lot of calls day to day, a lot of meetings, a lot of internal meetings. We try to reduce as much as we can, but communication it's key. So we have to be talking to each other. We talk on Teams all the time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Slack because I used Slack at IBM for 5 years. So we talk on Teams all the time. Um, we very collaborative culture. Like I said, everybody's it's super smart, but everybody's humble at the same time
Yeah.
because everybody's kind of learning. So we get to help each other. So it's really fun. I really really enjoy. Especially in my case, I was blessed to land in a team that works with nonprofits.
Mhm.
So that for me, it's an added plus.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be super stressful. Sometimes the day can be really crazy, but I was able to influence and impact in an organization that's trying to save children or that's trying to cure a disease or that's feeding
Yeah.
America, the feeding the people. So it's it's really cool. Like I could be happy selling other things, but I'm glad that I'm working on this team and it's been great.
Yeah. Amazing. So, thank you for telling us a little bit about you. It's been great to learn about your experiences. So, now I want to delve into the massive world of Microsoft. So, firstly, could you discuss with us what trends are impacting Microsoft, especially in the sales strategy, and how does the sales team adapt to them?
Yeah, I think this past 2 years that I have been here, the biggest thing, the biggest movement, or the biggest topic has been AI, right?
Yeah.
How Microsoft is catching up to that. We have this solution called Copilot, right? The Copilot is because you talk about AI, people talk about AI all the time,
Mhm.
right? But to actually visualize what it can do, that's another thing. That's different, right?
Yeah.
And Microsoft is like an expert uh, on doing that. I think we're really good in our marketing. We are really flashy. We're really good at showing things, but at the same time, It takes a lot of work on the background, on the product development team, on the product managers and everything to come up with something that works and works fast and works quickly, right? And that's something that Microsoft has done amazingly. I think that's the number one and the most important thing, that we're not only leading this whole AI revolution, but we're also being nimble and we're being super smart in how we go to market. And everything now, every single solution, even the teams that we're talking here right now, has AI embedded. And so everything went to the whole next level. It takes a lot of work. So Microsoft was probably planning this for like, 5, 10 years. Believe
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
when I say uh, when I say that, it's because it's the truth. So because the way that they did so fast and they adapted this whole revolution to the Copilot on every single solution I sell Microsoft business applications. So we have in our CRM, we have in our ERP,
Mhm.
we have in our HR solution, we have in our supply chain solution, right? And Power Platform, I also sell Power Platform. We have embedded in our Power Platform, in our Power Apps, in our Power Pages, in our Copilot Studio. So it's uh, to do that in just a matter of a year, it's amazing. And I would say that's the biggest strategic movement that Microsoft is pushing and is doing really well.
Amazing. So you said that Microsoft are kind of leaders in the AI field. How would you say that Microsoft differentiates itself from the competitors? How do you gain that competitive advantage?
Well, it's easy to say that because I sell Microsoft. But I guess two things comes to my mind,
Mhm.
and I remember like probably like what's that? That would probably give my age, but about maybe like I'll say over 20 years ago. I remember when I created my email. Like, oh my gosh, what it is this? Let me create an email, and I literally put Davison, and then it was Davison at hotmail.com. My name is kind of unique in the way that it spells, so I actually had Davison. Like I was a Microsoft customer like years and years and years and years ago, and I use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. I think the number one, the biggest competitive advantage of Microsoft. Everybody knows Microsoft. Almost everybody have touched in the Microsoft product. Almost everyone has used Windows, or now maybe not everyone has used Bing. Where it's getting more popular now with ChatGPT. Maybe a lot of people use Google, but almost seriously, almost everyone have be in touch with Microsoft, and they know there's a good brand, and I know there's a trustworthy brand, and that works. So that's huge, right? If you come up with something new, it's almost like, why not? Why not try this?
Yeah.
And that's like the number one. Second one, I think. Oh, I had something in my mind, but it slipped. But I think the last 10 years we have been our leadership at Microsoft has changed a little bit,
Mhm.
and with Satya as the CEO over the past 10 years, Microsoft has, gone leaps and bounds when it comes to advancement. We started a little bit late on the cloud, right? AWS kind of started leading the cloud, but we're catching up really fast. And I think the leadership, right? It's
Yeah.
it's a huge competitive advantage for the organization. Sometimes we don't think about it. We only think about the product. Like we want to talk about, oh, the features. This is better here, better than that. Honestly, like at the end of the day, the competitors, almost everything looks similar. But I having someone for 10 years consistently grow the company
Yeah.
for like a $20, $25 stock for now 400, almost like every day I check it goes up,
Mhm.
you know. That's amazing. That's a huge competitive advantage to be led, an organization be led by a leadership that is a visionary, that knows what they're doing, and they can get things done. I
Yeah.
think those two things are comes to my mind right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Does Microsoft have any challenges? Now, this can be on an organizational level or when engaging with clients. Do you have any obstacles? And if so, how do you overcome them?
Yeah, I would say every organization has its challenges. Nobody's, perfect. for being a big organization, I feel like Microsoft does really well when it comes to uh, the alignment of the product and then the sales process and everything. 2 years, it's a good time to see how things work. Still fairly new to the organization,
Mhm.
but I feel like one of the biggest challenges, um, it's still, and I think is for the entire software world, is the implementation of the
Mhm.
solution, right? Because we can sell this amazing product and the clients get super excited and they buy. But then our biggest challenge is to make sure that that product gets sold properly, but also gets implemented properly, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I would say, as a BizApp seller, especially biggest challenge is to make sure that things get done properly. And so how do we overcome that? Like I mentioned, partners are essential, right? They are the one implementing. So if you're if you're pressing the baton on the race to the partner, we want to make sure that the partners are enabled to do their job well, that they have all the training that they need, that they have all the Microsoft support and the training and the resources. So that's, I would say that's the biggest challenge when it comes to selling business applications. I think every area, basically Microsoft, if you think about what we sell, they're basically buckets. Like if you think about Azure,
Mhm.
which is the cloud, right? You look like you're sitting out in a really cool city, but it looks like a data center. So
Yeah.
that's the cloud. And then you have data and AI, which it's like the bread and butter of the organizations. And then you have modern work, which is the Office 365, the Microsoft 65, all the teams and all the cool stuff. And then you have business applications. And I think every bucket and Power Platform, every bucket that I just mentioned has its own challenges.
Mhm.
Um, and for me, what I have experienced is the implementation, and partners are the solution. So we're working really hard. In Tech for Social Impact, we work really closely with partners. A lot of them are managed by us, so we want to make sure that uh, we recommend clients. We are partner agnostic, but at the same time, we recommend our clients to the partners who are managed by our team, who also understand the industry of nonprofits. That's
Yeah.
important. That's
Yeah.
important to make that
Great.
alignment.
Yeah. So we briefly touched on this earlier, and you've discussed how important the partners are. So could we discuss how important collaboration is within the sales process? Now, this can be both internally and externally. How important is it to build them
Collaboration,
relationships? Hmm.
collaboration are very important. Just kidding. It's like one of the biggest things that we talk about here all the time is collaboration. I I'll give an example. So I work on the nonprofits that I support. I support about 206, 210 nonprofits. That's a lot,
Hmm.
right? Um, for each one of those nonprofits, we have a team that works with that nonprofit. So that team encompasses of like the account executive, which holds the relationship, is like the almost like the quarterback, the leader. He knows what's going on a daily basis with their account. Then you have the commercial executive who transact the licenses. It's all about helping with the money and all that. And then you have the specialists. The specialist for Azure, the specialist for data and AI, modern work, and then you have Dayvisson, which is the specialist for BizApps and Power Platform, right? And then and then you have the technical specialists on each area. And then you have the cloud solution architect on each area. So there's this huge team to help one client, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of collaboration that goes on a daily basis. Uh, we share we share notes. We have meetings, internal meetings to talk about our clients. How can we better support? How we can better cross sell? How we can better collaborate with each other? Right? Let's say if the Azure specialist is already engaged with that account and I'm not. Hey, What can I do to, what's missing? How can we collaborate? Or if I'm in a meeting and someone is talking about the CRM, but their data needs some more organization. So then right after the call, I reach out to the data and AI specialist. So we're always helping each other. We're always like integrating and making sure that the client gets the best of the resources that they're paying for, right? It's a premium service, is a premium software, and deserves the best help that the client can get. So we do our best to talk and collaborate. It really is. People say that communication is like 80% of a success of any project, and I completely agree. Communication, collaboration is the key to our team's success. We are very successful in what we do because we collaborate.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. So finally, I think from an insider's view, I think everybody will be keen to know, what does the future look like for Microsoft? What are the opportunities there? And then potentially any challenges that you can see on the horizon.
Well, that's a lot of questions in one question.
Okay,
So you might have to help me out here.
we'll
So
start
let
with
me.
the opportunities.
Yes, yes. So as you can see, recently Microsoft just launched what they call Microsoft AI. And now think about it. I talk about all those buckets. Now it's almost like a whole new organization inside of one organization. There's gonna have a lots and lots and lots of opportunities on the AI field. So it's sometimes people are like, "Oh, Davidson, where do I start? What should I do? Like, what kind of AI are you talking about?" Everybody talks about AI. Well, starting with Microsoft AI. Since we're kind of leading the movement, you know, start with basic courses. Like, try to understand the basic lingo, the basic languages. It's gonna have opportunity for everyone. In sales, it's gonna have opportunity for everyone. In product development, in marketing, um, technical roles. So it's like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, Microsoft just partnered with Chat uh, GPT, OpenAI, like a year ago, and the whole world changed. And they're saying it's going to be bigger than the internet. So there is tons and tons and tons of opportunities. The question is, on which side of the opportunity are you going to be, right? Are you going to ride the wave, or are you going to just kind of be watching from afar? Is the new ABC? You're going to have to learn no matter what you do. No matter what you do, you're going to have to learn artificial intelligence. The question is, how do you focus your learning journey, right? um, and Microsoft is providing tons and tons of opportunities for people to learn for free. Right? It's one of the things that we do. We give a lot of philanthropy. We do a lot of philanthropy work, a lot of philanthropic uh, projects, and one of them is literally help people learn this new technology. And maybe not right now because don't know on top of my head, because my head has been with a little bit of a lack of sleep in these past days. But there's tons and tons of links out there that you can just Copilot, Chat GPT, ask a few questions, and you find tons of resources for free that you can start your journey. I would definitely be ready for that.
Yeah, yeah,
I keep
that
telling
makes
my kids, like, you know, you're going to school right now. It's important, but hey, don't worry too much. Things are gonna be completely different in 10 years.
That's funny. That's interesting to know. Um, so I think for us next, obviously your work is specifically with nonprofits. Let's explore that a little bit more. So
Yeah,
what would you say are the unique challenges that nonprofits face, maybe compared to normal Microsoft partners?
yeah. So I think you can summarize nonprofits challenges in a nonprofit. They are nonprofits, right? So they're not for profit. Therefore, they have a lot of times they have big projects and lack of resources, right? They depend on budgets. They depend of governments, grants. They depend of people donations. Um, so they're very dependable on the economy, right? Like right now, the world's going through some crazy changes. So a lot of the challenges is just finding those resources to catch up quickly, right, with technology. Because if they stay up to date on the technology, which is kind of our mission, right? That's what we're here for. Uh, they're gonna be able to further their mission uh, as fast as the world is moving, right? So I would say number one, the resources, money, but that's not all. Like a lot of times, finding the right talent. Nonprofits struggle in retention
Mhm.
and finding. Uh, I'm not only talking about the IT department, which that's kind of where we talk most of
Yeah.
the time, but all the other areas. You know, sometimes they're not as you know Fortune 500 companies, so they're not. They might be struggling to hire great talent or great people that want to stay. I think that's another biggest challenge. And the second challenge, also, a lot of nonprofits are, they're just trying to survive. Sometimes their IT department is like it's a one man show or it's small, and they're trying to do a lot with less,
Mhm.
which funny enough is kind of Microsoft's kind of slogan, like do more with less. And so that's why we fit so well in this industry, is because that's one of our things is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. So as an attack for social impact, and we work non-profits. Our goal is to empower every non-profit on the planet to
Mhm.
achieve more
Yeah.
with less, with less, because they don't have the luxury of sometimes dropping millions and millions of dollars on the implementation, or no, they can because there's big nonprofits out there. They have a lot of money, but they have to plan years ahead, or they have to be very cautious of how they spend their money. The margin of error is very small
Yeah.
for nonprofits. Let's just say that when it comes to
Yeah.
investments. So I would say that the CFOs of nonprofits are probably the best one in the world
Yeah.
because they have to manage their money really well and do really good. The COOs, so there are really amazing people working,
Mhm.
and also partners. I think you mentioned in your question towards the end something with partners. There
Yeah.
are amazing partners, the best partners in the world that deals with Microsoft technology. They are also getting embedded with the nonprofit industry.
Mhm.
A lot of people think like, oh, there's no money on the nonprofit industry. They're completely wrong. Um, our organization is growing year over year. There is more and more nonprofits to help.
Yeah.
The Satya's vision, that was like 2 years ago when I first started, it was to double the number of nonprofits that we serve. At that time when I started was I think we were 350,000 nonprofits, and there's probably over 400,000 now.
Mhm.
So there's a huge demand to find great partners, and they're coming and they're being trained, and they're like, "Whoa, this is cool! I'm working with nonprofits. This is amazing." Some of them even have like special programs, and they understand, and they actually like they want to help. Sometimes they are heavily discounted as well.
Yeah.
So most of our solutions we sell for nonprofits, we sell like with a huge discount. It's like average of 50 to 70% off, 75% off the regular uh, organization out there.
Yeah.
So they are getting heavily discounted uh, to use Microsoft technology. At the same time, our partners are also working together with us to help us on this mission as well. So it's really cool to see um, the both sides trying to help the challenges that other nonprofits face.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask, do Microsoft offer any financial assistance for nonprofits? But you kind of answered that one.
Yeah, they definitely do. So it's interesting. So okay, so let me explain that in three levels. So there's some nonprofits who have partnerships with Microsoft, like big nonprofits that they maybe they got some sort of sponsorship money, right?
Hmm.
There is a level that's kind of the level that I work with, which is like they get a huge discount on the software that I sell, right? That we sell. My team sells.
Yeah.
Uh, Sometimes to the point that it's almost free, right? So that's huge. That's big. Also, on the small side of entry level SMB that we call the small medium kind of business, small non-profits, they can sign up, they can open a non-profit today, they can go online and register to our website. If you're there watching, it's very easy to find. Just go Microsoft Tech for Social Impact. You're gonna find a link where you can register your nonprofit. Boom, and you get like you know 10 office licenses, or you get this much credit in Azure, these many free licenses, so you can start right away using Microsoft technologies for free.
Hmm.
That's really cool. A lot of our nonprofits that we have are on that category, right? They're using a bunch of stuff for free, and they're trying to grow to the point that they get managed by my team, right?
Yeah.
So yes, there is tons of resources. There's tons of training. Microsoft is connected to an organization, for example, called TechSoup, which provides a lot of free resources to nonprofits. We have a lot of partners out there uh, who provide free things for nonprofits. So come to the ecosystem, right? Stay close, and then you start seeing things. Oh, okay, this is free. This is a grant. Oh, this is cool. Um, yes, the answer is yes, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And finally, are there any new trends or technologies that are driving innovation within the nonprofit sector? Would you say? I know we've touched on AI. Maybe that's something that's having a positive impact.
Yeah, so we have something really cool that's called Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofits. So it's a specific cloud that was created for nonprofit, and that it was designed since the team got created about 5 6 years ago. Where, for example, when it comes to fundraising and engagement, right? So we completely adapted our dynamic sales CRM to the nonprofit sector.
Hmm.
So there is a module called fundraising engagement where it's specifically for nonprofit. It speaks the nonprofit language. It runs on the top of something that we call the common data model, which it was created specifically for nonprofits, with nonprofits language, and specific for donors, specific for volunteers. So we have something also called the volunteer engagement. It's
Hmm.
another section where we created a specific technology to help organizations to better fundraise, but also to better manage their volunteers, right? So they can retain, so they can continue to grow, and they can provide good service for their volunteers. We have a program impact dashboards that's built on the top of Power BI, for example, that's specifically for CIOs, CFOs of um, um, nonprofit organizations, where they can see exactly where each dollar donation is going, and how to better uh, invest their money. We have a marketing solution that's specifically for nonprofits, where um, you can target you, what kind of campaigns, what kind of donors we should be targeting, um, specific marketing journeys specifically for that uh, niche. So we basically, what I'm trying to say, yes is yes, we took all the products that Microsoft created on business applications,
Hmm.
and then we adapted to the nonprofit. It's called Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. I know most of the team who develops those really cool applications, and an amazing team. And we continue to grow, we continue to reinvest A lot of the money that we make, which is not, it is a lot. What I was gonna say, it's not a lot. It is a lot, but a lot of this money we reinvest in the technology,
Hmm.
so it can be even more adapted to nonprofit leaders and nonprofit organizations to use, because we
Yeah.
want them to do more with less, and we know that if the technology is more adapted to that, uh, it will be easier for them. One example, the latest thing that we launched is the most likelihood to donate. For example, it's all based on AI. And
Hmm.
then you have, let's say you have 1,000 donors. Okay, fine. Which of those donors is most likely to donate this month?
Yeah.
Do you know that? How can you know that? Who should you reach out to? What kind of marketing campaign should you create this week so you can raise the money that you need for this specific month or day? We have created um, an application inside of our CRM, inside of in our fundraising engagement solution that helps uh, leaders of the side of the organization to do that. So if it can be, in a meeting, and then you can pull your dashboard and you can say, okay, who's most likely to donate of our donors to donate today, and
Hmm.
that the data is right there available. That's huge. Like that's like almost magic, right? So
Yeah.
AI is going to be doing that. It's going to be doing that over and over and over again with different solutions, with all the solutions, which is really cool. Another example. Um, so I love Power Platform. It's like the coolest thing ever. So you can literally let's say in less than 5 minutes you can build a chat bot for your nonprofit organization
Yeah.
that you can attach to your site, and people can come and ask any questions on that site. It will spit the answer on that chat bot. I remember when I started working for IBM about 7 years ago. Oh my goodness. We saw that technology back in the days. That's not something new. But it would take people to literally, it would take literally like over a year just to train the chat bot, to be able to function properly.
Yeah.
Now we can do that in 5 minutes. That's amazing. So that's two good examples there. That there's tons and tons of examples, and it's super exciting to go to as a tech seller, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Daily, just to jump on a call. I just have their like jaw dropping, like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Did you just? I'm like, yeah, that's what we have. Let's how can we do? How can we help? What's your priorities? Let's make sure you get enabled with those technologies, because you can completely change a nonprofit
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah. Amazing, definitely. Thank you so much for sharing your technical knowledge with us. I've got one more question for you, but before we get onto that, if anybody's got any questions, do you want to just pop them in the Q&A? I know John's got a few which we will get to shortly. If anybody else has any questions, please pop them in. But the last question from me, Davison, what advice would you give to somebody who is wanting to work for Microsoft? And I know this is something that you are quite expert in, and I'm sure you've got a lot of advice to share with everybody.
Did you just ask me that question? I spent the last month like every day I'm posting on LinkedIn these days, and I'm trying to help people get into tech. The reason why, of course, I have some downtime now, and so I have more time to reflect, and I have been really honestly like reflecting about being a tech seller, working at Microsoft this past 2 years. I was like, this is huge. It's a huge blessing, huge opportunity. I need to give back. I need to help other people. Like, why not? Like, there's so many people there interested in working for Microsoft. Um, so I actually started this daily series of, how to land a job in tech at Microsoft, and the daily life of a tech seller. And I hopefully will help other people. Number one, just like you started this conversation, Microsoft's massive. It's just big. You can get lost really easily. You can go to the career site. I'm like, what is this? Like, there's just so many openings. Yeah, where do I fit here? So you gotta narrow down your search. I talked to a guy the other day. He's like, I'm not moving, out of Texas. Oh, okay. So you gotta narrow down your search to Dallas, Texas. We have three sales hubs here in the United States, for example, the big ones here in Dallas, and then Fargo, and then we have in Georgia, Atlanta, and then so if you want to work in tech sales in the United States, you're gonna probably land in one of those three locations. So start thinking like that strategically, like, okay, what technology? Okay, Microsoft sell all this cool stuff. What do I want to sell? What am I excited about? I'm super excited about Power Platform. I want to learn more and more and more. Um, and what are you excited about it? Like you have to be passionate about something. You have to be excited about something. Narrow down your search. And once you find that, doesn't have to be perfect, because the cool thing about Microsoft, if you come inside and you land in a role and then you work there for a few years, you can change. Like you can go to different places and you can go to something that you feel like it's the best fit. So it doesn't have to be like, you know, my ikigai that people talk about. This is my dream job, and you like meditating. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a tech seller for BizApps. Like just find a role that kind of fits to what you think you can do. Make sure you have the experience. You also don't want to be like applying to something completely blind. Like you worked, human resources, never did sell all your entire life. You can try, but the likelihood's gonna be it's gonna be harder, just like anything else. Just to find something that the likelihoods, you know, is there, and then you have to network. You need to meet people. Start follow people on LinkedIn. Follow Dave's on LinkedIn. Um, see what he's saying, or start following hiring manager. Or I don't like this word hiring manager. I'm sorry. I just use that? I did. Every manager is a hiring manager. They just, if they need someone to hire their team, they become a hiring manager. So every manager is a hiring manager. If you follow anyone at Microsoft, you don't have to be following the recruiters. You don't have to be following the managers. Follow someone who works, that's doing what you want to do. That's the best person for you to follow. That's another advice. A lot of people get caught up in, oh my gosh, where's the recruiter? Oh my goodness, where is the hiring manager? Like they're super busy. Leave them alone. Find someone who's doing what you want to do. Ask them questions like, what is the day to day on of a BizApps life? What do you do? What's your challenges? Like if I go to an interview, what should I be thinking about it? What should I worry about it? Um, Talk to the people who is walking the path that you want to walk. Leave the hiring manager for later. Save that for later. Little secret here. And just being on the ecosystem, learn as much as you can. Get a certification. Show that you have a passion to learn Microsoft stuff. Um, Participate in a hackathon, or I don't know, go attend a local event, a local Microsoft event. Go find a partner, Microsoft partner. You can also work for the partners. The partners are amazing. And then you transition to Microsoft if you want to. There's so many devices and things that I can talk here. I'm putting this together. It's free. You can complain for my advice because it's free. I cannot give you money back. Just go follow. There's a bunch of other people who are trying to help as well. So I say LinkedIn because I feel like it is the best. Which, by the way, LinkedIn is for Microsoft. It's a Microsoft company. So if you are doing really well on LinkedIn, networking, you're kind of the Microsoft ecosystem as well. So uh, I can ping, I can talk to any LinkedIn employee right now because they are family. So that's the cool thing. Hopefully I answer your question because there's
There's a
so
lot.
many things that I can talk about it, right?
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for that advice. And I second that. Davison's LinkedIn is full of information. If anybody is looking for a job at Microsoft, I definitely recommend giving him a follow, connecting with him because he's got a lot of valuable information on there. So just before we finish, let's head over to the chat. So John has a question for us. I may pull Sarah, who's our UK Power Platform expert here because this is for a UK company. So it may pull Sarah in for a hand. So he's saying, how does this work getting non-profits or a charity involved? He is a director for professional development for the PMI UK chapter and is currently in the process of moving to a charity, and I'd love to know who to contact. So I think this is for getting involved with Microsoft as a charity.
Oh, yeah. So I would start first thing. Our team is fairly small. We're not very big, and also our team, Tech for Social Impact, only works with managed accounts. Right. So, which means the non-profits are spending more money. Let's be honest. But the small non-profits, we also have a team. It's called the SMB. First thing, you sign up, go Google whatever you want to do. Google Bing, um, Tag for Social Impact. You're gonna find a link there. I can send after this call with Kylie and she can share. Register your nonprofit. Register your nonprofit. Be on the ecosystem. Once you're in the ecosystem, that's easier to come and reach out to people and say, "Hey, I'm part of I'm part of the tribe. Help me out, right?" So reach out to me, okay? I'll send you on the right direction. But um, yeah, that's my number one recommendation. Just sign up. Make sure your nonprofit's Microsoft accepted, and go from there.
Okay. And the second question, is there anywhere to learn Power Automate to manage workflows or onboarding, or is there a way to pick up templates to make life any easier, or is there something Copilot can do? That's the second question from John.
Yeah, I think Copilot's doing a lot of cool stuff, especially with Power Automate. I'm not a technical specialist. However, I know that to learn more, like everything that we learn, Microsoft employees, if you go to Microsoft to learn, everything's there. Everything, the for certifications is the same thing that it's the public can go and see for free is what we use. Of course, we have additional resources and everything, but a lot. We also have some office hours. Our team, Tech for Social Impact, has office hours that you can come. If you are a nonprofit, it's easier, but um, uh, you can come and ask questions, very specific questions for your need. But Copilot is you can literally build apps on Copilot now. You can ask questions, and Copilot automatically on the back end is doing the automation, the Power Automate. So it goes case by case, of course, of how much the automation can be done. But things are getting better and better and better. Like you can literally create an app right now in 5 minutes that before would take 5 developers for doing 3 months.
Mm.
Right? I'm a dummy techie, and I can build an app now, which is super excited. It's super exciting. It takes two Copilot, Power, Power Platform Copilot.
Yeah. Yeah, I second this as well. The Microsoft Learn website has a lot of valuable information on if anybody in your company is wanting to sit any of the exams as well. It pretty much has everything on there to revise for the exams, which is a great asset for employees to have. Um, does anybody else have any questions? Feel free to pop them in. If anybody wants to connect with us externally as well, if anybody needs any career advice, feel free to pop me a message. I know Dayvisson has already said he's open to connect with anybody in the UK. Sarah, who's on, is pretty much specialist in terms of Power Platform, so she's a great person to connect with as well. But if that's it, then we'll wrap it up here. A massive thank you to Dayvisson. He has a 2-month-old baby, so thank you so much for giving up your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I was hoping to see the baby actually. I thought we might have the baby on VLT today.
I'm in the office today, so baby's at home. But yeah, we do have a team in the UK as well. My team is global, so we do have a presence in UK. So most of my teammates are in UK. Tech for Social Impact. We, ShortList, Power App. We found each other via LinkedIn, right? So that's the power of LinkedIn. Never
Yep.
underestimate the power of LinkedIn. Feel free to send me a connection on LinkedIn. It's really easy to find me. because my name is spells really different, and it's really easy to find. And yeah, thanks so much for inviting today, and it's a pleasure to have this conversation.
Thank you so much, Dayvisson. Yeah, so John, anybody else with any questions, feel free to connect with us further. Drop me a message on LinkedIn and I can point you in the right direction. But that is it from today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We've got a lot more VRTs coming up. Sarah has one next week. So if anybody would like to join, then all of our information can be found on the ShortList LinkedIn, or I can send it over. Just drop me a message. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day. I'll see you all very soon.
Thank you. Good luck,
Thanks
everyone.
very much.
Bye,
That's brilliant.
guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.